Hey guys, so I just finished watching the fourth movie of the Harry Potter series, Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. In this movie, Cedric, a character who's played by Robert Pattinson, the star from the Twilight series, is an important part of the Harry Potter movie. And here in this movie, the Goblet of Fire, there's a competition between three different schools, I think three different schools of wizardry, to see who's the champion amongst champions. So they have a Goblet of Fire in which people who are interested to put their nomination in for this competition can just nominate themselves. But there's a catch here. Due to certain stipulations, the age limit for a participant should only be 17 years or above, which makes Harry Potter ineligible because he's only 14, as we know, in this movie. So here he is, Harry Potter at age 14, not able to compete in the Goblet of Fire competition champions, and he actually doesn't intend to be a part of this competition. But to his surprise, next day, while the nominees are being picked for this competition, one from each school of the three schools of wizardry, Harry Potter's name comes up as the fourth person who's able to compete in this competition. And this happens when the Goblet of Fire does like a magical trick, and there's this fourth name coming out of the pile, which is Harry Potter's name. Of course, Harry Potter being 14 isn't eligible, so everyone's surprised how he was able to put his name in. And he gets a lot of flack from his friends and all of his his mates at school, that how was he able to enter his name at 14, and they believe that he tricked the system in some way, which later on you find out at the climax that Harry Potter wasn't the person who put his name in the nomination, the Goblet of Fire. It was somebody else. So it's a pretty interesting turn of events at the end of the movie, so I won't spoil it for you as to who put the name in and how Harry Potter got to compete in the competition between these three schools, and being the fourth person where there was only three people allowed. So the three different competitions in this three different events in this competition were, I think the first one was where each competitor had to steal a golden egg from a dragon, and each of them successfully does. The second one is when they have to be mermaids, or pretty much be able to survive underwater for some time and save something that's very important to them. Herein, each of these schools have each participant wherein their best friends are sort of submerged underwater, and only the participant, four of them, are able to save their friends, and each of them successfully were able to do that. I think one of them wasn't able to do it, but three of them were able to successfully save all three of their friends, and also the fourth person who couldn't be saved by the competitor who was discarded from their school. So after the first two events, the dragon egg stealing event and the mermaid event, I think Harry Potter stood in the top two of the rankings for the champion of champions. And then the climax, or the third event, is actually the important event for the movie, wherein a lot of things are revealed. So in this maze where each of these competitors are supposed to go in, they were warned that they will see some life-changing events. Probably some of them might lose their lives, so it's very risky. And as they go into this maze, the lady from the school gets discarded. The other gentleman from the other Russian school, I believe, he also runs in third place. So the first two places are actually two wizards from the Hogwarts, which is Harry Potter and Cedric, who's played by Robert Pattinson. So they, due to a certain turn of events, they end up being in a graveyard because they had to catch a cup to get to exit the place, but they ended up moving into another world, which is a graveyard. And there they actually get to see the super villain of the entire Harry Potter series, Voldemort. For the first time, I think, in the four movies, they showcase the entire character of Voldemort. His body takes form. Again, there's some wizardry and magic tricks involved there. I won't spoil it for people who haven't watched it. And yeah, Voldemort actually comes back, and he's back to kill Harry Potter. But while doing so, he actually Cedric tries to save Harry Potter, and Cedric loses his life and dies. And this was all in the part of that maze competition, because of which they ended up being in the graveyard. And then Harry Potter eventually somehow finds his way back to Hogwarts with Cedric's dead body, and yeah, there it is. They lost one of their competitors' lives, one of the important members of the Hogwarts community, and he loses his life. Harry Potter is back in Hogwarts, and everybody knows that Voldemort is back because Harry Potter reveals what he saw and how he felt when he was in that graveyard. So yeah, at the end of movie 4, Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, Harry Potter actually gets to compete one-on-one versus Voldemort. Not in a planned manner, but due to certain turn of events, and Dumbledore and everybody at Hogwarts is actually aware of Voldemort now and that he's back. So yeah, this movie, the series, is actually shaping up pretty well. At the end of movie 4, I'm pretty interested to see what happens in the next movies, but I would rate this movie again 4.5 out of 5. Pretty good turn of events, pretty good climax, and very good storyline throughout this movie. I'm excited for part 5.